You know who I am?
Anything you say. Anything you say.
It's official.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. Now, this week there wasn't really anything major news worthy going on. Same old crap with the Trump crap, which is obviously going to get thrown out. I mean, they're already, dropping all them cases, so we'll see how it turns out. What I really want to talk to you about was I just got done watching Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, but I also just got done watching The Rebel Moon. It's a movie, but it's like a series of movies apparently, because it's part one. I was going to do the Aquaman, but I'll wait till next week to do that review. This week I'm going to focus on Rebel Moon because there's so much to unpack. So first of all, before it even came out, I knew this was going to be some type of feminist cringe crap because of the lead. That people are just sick and tired of these, feminist boss can kick anybody's ass, Mary Sue chicks for female leads in all these TV shows and movies. People are sick and tired of it. You could see that from other YouTubers' reviews. Nobody likes this crap. Apparently nobody likes this movie either. Zack Snyder is good at visuals, making everything look pretty on the screen, but as far as storytelling, the guy flat out sucks. He can't tell a fucking story. Now, he did do two good movies, which is 300 and Dawn of the Dead. But those stories were already laid out for him. So all he had to do was the visuals, which he did. He did an excellent job at it. But as far as storytelling goes, he can't do it. Like, I know there's people that like the whole Zack Snyder universe, DC universe, but honestly, it sucked. I didn't think it was that good at all. I didn't care for any of the actors that played most of the characters except for Henry Cavill. He was the only one that fit the character. Gal Gadot was okay as Wonder Woman, but the rest of them, they just didn't fit the parts. But anyway, back to Rebel Moon. This movie felt like it was really rushed. Like, you were going from point A to point B to point C to point D, and all he was doing was picking up another so-called warrior. It's based off the whole, Seven Samurai, the original story movie. You've had other adaptations of this, like the Magnificent Seven, the Western, Battle Beyond the Stars, stuff like that. It's literally the same story line plot. he tries to introduce these characters without any backstories. The only character he mainly focuses on is the Mary Sue, the main character. And he does a lot of backstory about her being, you know, she's the key to everything, but then so is the princess she was supposedly guarding to the slain king and queen that weren't so good. And she's like this little girl princess who's like a Jesus type figure. You know, she's a miracle healer and crap like that. She's actually the key to everything. It's just dumb because it's been done before. Now, so I've heard some of them say, you know, what if the main character was a guy? Would it be different? Not really. The story still sucked. It would have been a little bit better because it would have made more sense, but it still sucked. You know, spoiler alert, the story basically revolves around this young girl whose family was slaughtered by some young general on her world and killed everybody on her world, but for whatever reason he decided to keep her and then train her to be this like military progeny or some shit. You know, it was just kind of dumb. It was a pointless story, backstory. The one character that actually seemed interesting was the robot at the very beginning. I mean, I don't understand why the robot wasn't the samurai dude. That would have been far more interesting. But that's the only character that actually caught my attention. The rest of them sucked. The samurai chick literally didn't know how to fight. The creature she was fighting, some spider woman or whatever, was actually more interesting than her. She should have been in the group. The general they go pick up on, you know, Gladiator World, literally from Gladiator, if it's what it looked like. You get like a minute of him being drunk and them sobering him up and then telling him, she's basically telling him, you're coming with us whether you like it or not. And he just, okay. Just don't call me General. It was ignorant. It was dumb. And then you have the pilot they pick up in a cantina. Boy, I wonder where they got that from. What movie that was going to... Since he was doing this for Disney to make a Disney Star Wars, you know. Of course, you get all this feminism crap in it. But anyways, you know, he does this little cantina scene where they pick up this pilot, which tells him he don't want no money. He just wants to join him, help him out. Like, that wasn't... that should have clued you in on who's going to betray them later on. You have the Turok guy that's literally from Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter, the video game and comic. I mean, come on. You don't even know anything about him till later on that he's a prince. And that's all you know, is that his world was destroyed and he was a prince and he hates the Empire, you know, or Mother World, whatever they want to call it. All the Mother World people, they wear Nazi uniforms. They look like Nazis. I mean, Then they introduced the rebellion group, which is this brother and sister. You know, this black brother and this black sister. And it's like the whole group is part of a BLM hit squad. Literally from like the 2020 insurrection or whatever you want to call it, or they were the Summer of Love, the BLM riots or whatever. That's what they look like, their group. It was just dumb. And they all had the Ferocia, from the new Mad Max, the Ferocia character, black eyeliner across their eyes. I mean, the whole group. It's like, come on, it's so dumb. And then later on, they kill off all the ones that, not all the mercenaries went with them from the brother and sister. But the brother went with them so he could kill him off and make the sister the head boss bitch for the BLM squad. And then there's one chick in there. She looks exactly like the character Ferocia. She shaved her head and all that crap. And she joins the group as the black brother leader of the BLM group dies. It's so dumb. It was pointless. You didn't even know anything about him, except for he's part of that group. Just kind of dumb. Sad. And then the one character that was even, might have been something was the farmer dude. But he just kept bouncing back and forth from saving their butt to, being quiet, not being a fighter, because he don't know how to fight. He's like on standby. It was dumb. It was so dumb. And then there's one character that he totally just bypassed. This kid, this really young recruit soldier, who helped take out the squad. There's a squad at the beginning that's going to rape this girl, and that's why she gets involved in the whole, we're going to take over the empire, blah blah blah, we're going to join the rebellion, and yada yada yada. 98-pound girl beats up this entire squad of big ass men, by her lonesome little self, pretty much. So dumb. Now, she doesn't have any powers. She doesn't have any, like, bionics or anything like that in her. She just knows how to kick ass. That's it. Literally. I mean, all these guys are 10 times stronger than her. But whatever. But there's one soldier, a young dude, who likes the girl that they were trying to rape. And he comes to their defense and tries to help out. He just totally ignores that character. You don't hear from him again. And then at the very end, they all show up on the farmer's world, and you see the robot, which has got some stupid headset on, or headdress on, like antlers or some crap. That's the only other time you see him. Like, what the hell, It's just... It's dumb. And they tried to do like this Darth Vader scene where they come down after she kicks the bad guy, the admiral that's after them. After she kicks his ass, there's a ship that comes down, picks him up off these rocks near an ocean, and then heals him or whatever. And the general that supposedly made her tells him he needs to go kill all them people and then capture her and bring her back to him, which he's saying is his daughter now, adopted daughter. But whatever, it was dumb. This movie, 2 thumbs down. It was absolute trash. The visual effects, of course, are good. He's good at that. But story-wise, he can't tell a story. He's terrible at it. terrible. That's why I do not like Zack Snyder. He can't do good movies unless the story is already made for him. Anyways, 2 thumbs down. Don't waste your time. It's not worth it. Not a good movie. Alright, let's get on to your B movie reviews. Okay, movie holics. So this week is Action Week. And I chose 2 war movies to do. My biggest problem with war movies is that most of the time it's mainly dramatized, really dramatized. And there's usually hardly any action in these movies. Especially the modern warfare stuff. Like if they do something like a historical really old war or something. Sometimes you might get a little more action, but for the most part, most of these are really over dramatized, and you just get a little bit of action in them. So I'm not a big fan of a lot of war movies. The first one I watched was called The Thin Red Line. It was done in 1998. And made about 98 million worldwide. Now this starred Jim Caviezel. He's the main character for the most part. It mainly focuses around him, and this other guy, this captain or whatever, it focuses a little bit around him too, but mainly Jim's character. Now you have a shit ton of actors in this movie. You got John C. Reilly, John Travolta, Nick Nolte, John Cusack, among many others. That's why I just mainly mention him, because most of the stories focus around him. And you see him at the beginning, and they pick him up and make him join their squad or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Apparently he tried to go AWOL on him or some shit. And the story is basically them taking this island, Japanese island, in the Pacific called Guadalcanal or some crap like that. Guadalcanal, or I don't know, it starts with a G. Now throughout the movie, you mainly get a lot of drama. And you get maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 max. Throughout the entire movie, it's almost 3 hours of, fighting. The rest of it's all drama crap. Them bullshitting or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It takes even an hour for them to even get to the damn island before the action starts. And there's one part of the movie that just irritated the piss out of me. They kept showing this one particular soldier's like love story with his wife or whatever. They left back home. They kept having flashbacks, of him and her together, like multiple times, like 20 or 30 times, only at the end to have him get a letter of her saying, hey, I found somebody else, I want a divorce, I still care about you, blah, 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 but I don't know if you're dead or not, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, this is for anybody, even the vets, you know exactly what I'm about to say. If you are going off to war, you know there's a chance you're going to be killed. You shouldn't be getting married before you take off for war. Period. It's just not a good idea. For one, she doesn't know if you're going to get killed or not. And two, 90% of the time, she's going to get lonely, get bored, and want somebody else. In one sense, I understand where she's coming from. She doesn't know if you're going to be killed. But if she took that vow before you got married, she most definitely should have waited to confirm that you are dead before she goes seeking somebody else. Not seeking somebody else while you're gone off at war. It's kind of bullshit. It's fucked up. But this happened all the time. Constantly to guys that went off to war. It happened like in every war. It would happen like that. Some woman would get married to some guy and then cheat on him while he's at war and then want a divorce. Anyways, all those scenes, those 20 or 30 scenes showing him and her together, and should not have been in the movie. It was dumb. It was just dumb. You could have had one little tiny scene, 30-second scene of, him showing him that he had a wife at home, and the movie would have been perfectly fine. You mainly had, like I said, a lot of drama, them bullshitting and crap, while they're under fire or waiting to go fight the Japs on this hill. They had to take this hill. Nick Nolte plays this colonel who has been in the military for a long time, and for his last battle he wants a notch on his belt, so he's basically using these men as cannon fodder. He don't care if they die or not. He just wants that fucking hill, so he can put that notch under his belt before he retires. They do eventually take the hill, of course, and blah blah blah. At great cost. Most of the men die and blah blah blah. And then it starts all over again. They show at the end a new colonel shows up and takes over, and it starts all over again. They got to take another hill or some shit. It was okay, but it was really long, drawn out, slow, kind of boring. Like I said, you only get like 10 or 15 minutes worth of fighting in it. I give it a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Check it out if you want. I mean, it won a bunch of awards, but I don't understand why, because it was pretty boring. Anyways, the next one I watched was called Hamburger Hill. It was done in 1987. It made about 13 million. I thought it made more, but apparently not. And it starred Dylan McDermott. Now, most of the story focuses around him and his little squad or unit. He's like a sergeant or some shit. And basically the story is them in Vietnam about this squad trying to take Hamburger Hill, one of the bloodiest battles in Vietnam. They kept trying to take the hill over and over and over. It took a long time for them to take that hill, but they eventually do it. But they lost a lot of lives trying to take it. Now, one of the things I didn't understand was They kept trying to go up this hill that was just muddy as fuck. They had all these tree stumps that they could have used to fucking for support to pull themselves up the hill, but they just kept sliding down the hill. Made no sense because they just kept digging in the mud up the hills. Kind of dumb. Now, in this one, they kind of half and half the drama and the fighting. Like they start off with fighting right at the beginning of the movie. You know, they're pulling out some LZ, and then they're being told, their unit's being told they got to go take this hill. And then from that point on in the movie, you know, you'll have like 10 minutes of drama of them bullshitting or talking crap, and then, you know, a bunch of drama, you know, and then 5 minutes of them fighting, trying to get up this hill, them coming back down the hill, another 10 minutes of drama, blah, 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 and then another 5 minutes of fighting. It just kept doing that throughout the entire movie. So they kind of broke it up, almost half and half. Of course, there was a little more drama than there was fighting. But it was okay. It wasn't boring, but it wasn't like super great either. It was just okay. Only two parts of the movie that really got to me was there was like 3 or 4 black guys in the unit, and they were playing the whole victim mentality, like the white men put them there and drafted them and made them you know, fight their war for them because they're dumb Negroes and blah blah blah. Yet a couple of them went to college. It made no sense. And then one of the white guys, they kind of call them on their shit, and they're like, hey, we're white, we're fighting right here alongside of you, we got drafted too. What makes us any different than you? The government fucking did it to both of us. Stop playing victimhood. And it shut them up because they realized they were right. The other thing that really got to me was, dude, I would not have wanted to be in the Vietnam War and been one of them guys who were fucking them Vietnamese chicks in them brothels. I mean, all them U.S. servicemen running through them chicks, dude. I'm telling you, man, you know STDs were up the wahoo over there during that time. There's no way I would have fucked any of them Vietnamese chicks, you know, if I was in the Vietnam War. That's just gross. You know they were getting STDs out the ass. But anyways, it was okay movie. It was alright for a war movie. I'm just not real big on modern warfare. I like old historical ancient time warfare better than I do modern, you know, guns and shit. Anyways, it was alright. You get thumbs up, thumbs down. Wasn't horrible, wasn't bad either. Check it out if you want. Now, if you have any thoughts about what I talked about earlier in the video, please leave your thoughts down in the comment section down below. If you can think of any B-rated, underrated, or movies you think I may never even heard of, go ahead and leave your suggestions down in the comment section down below, any genre, and I'll get to reviewing them as soon as I can. So until next time, I told you to be told the truth, and you just been told.